Assalamu alaikum, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another learning experience and video of UGTV and AG Academy. Many of you have reached out to us for inquiring about tuitions. So, if you want any more information regarding tuition or subject matter or any matter in that matter of fact, you can reach out to us on our Facebook page www.facebook.com/agacademy1. I will also provide the link for the page in the comment section below, and hopefully most of the classes will be conducted online through the application of Zoom and Google Classrooms. Today we will be continuing with our lesson of the Little Brown Handbook, which I've said many times that it is not so little in size if you have had chance to look at it or buy it from your local bookstore. Today we will going to study the chapter number 3E, editing the revised draft. For myself, I'm not sure if a lot of you guys have studied the Brown Handbook, but from my own personal experience, the exercise that I've studied till now by myself, I can surely say that it has improved my sense of writing, my sense of editing, my sense of thinking, has improved my sense of, making the right decisions, even decisions in life, surprisingly. So, when I started this book, I wasn't too much excited about it, but now I'm enjoying the process, and I am sure and I hope that you will enjoy the process as well. And now moving forward with the exercise number 3E, editing the revised draft. Let's move on towards what we need to study in this video and in this lesson of the Little Brown Handbook. Discovering what needs editing. Obviously, to begin your editing, you need to first make sure that there is something that there is some sort of writing that needs editing in one place or another place. If you do not have a piece of writing, if you do not have a draft, if you do not have anything that needs to be edited, then I think using the word editing in the first place or studying this chapter is kind of useless. So whether it be a homework assignment, a draft, a thesis statement, a question paper, or any sort of writing, you need to discover that what needs editing. Now, if you have a draft, a revision paper, or a thesis statement that you have written, then you can be more specific about what kind of editing you are going to be doing in that draft. You can decide to edit the beginning, you can decide to edit study the middle part of the paragraph, of the body of the essay, the middle part, study it carefully and then edit it. And then you can discover the last part of the essay and make sure that you are going to edit it properly. If you're going to edit a textbook page or a piece of writing written by somebody else, then you have to study it carefully before making any comments, and make sure that your editing does not offend the sentiments of the other people. Try the following approaches to spot possible flaws in your revised draft. These are some of the approaches that can be taken to, I've already iterated some of the approaches that can be taken to edit a draft, but here are some of more strategies recommended by the book that you can take to edit your draft or to spot a possible flaw in your revised draft. It is important to take a break. Obviously, if you have been writing for a long time or studying a writing piece by somebody else, then it is important to take a break, take some rest, lay back, think about what you just studied, think about what you're going to edit, or just watch a web series or a movie or eat something, grab something to eat. And if you want to think about what you are going to do next, then it's okay as well. And if you just want to joke around, have a conversation with a friend, take it easy, then it's a good practice as well. Read the draft slowly and read what you actually see. It is important that you, as I've mentioned earlier, that whatever you're going to edit, you need to first understand what you're going to edit. So it is important that you read the draft slowly and you read what you actually see. And uh, you need to make sure that you're in the right mindset to read what you're actually seeing, and not reading something else that does not require your editing. Read as if you are encountering the draft for the first time. Obviously, first impression is the last impression is a very famous phrase that many of you might have heard. So always read the draft. Do not skim over the draft. Do not read any piece of writing as you've read it many times beforehand, that you are an expert in that kind of writing. If you're going to edit something and you have decided to edit something, read that draft in a way that make the in a way that you're reading it for the first time, that you give your full attention to that draft, that you give your full focus to the draft, that you give your full uh, you know attention to the draft. And it will help and improve the editing process. Have a classmate, friend, or a relative read your work. If you've written your assignment, if you've read your work, if you've seen, and if you have, if somebody, you have a close friend that you trust, you have a relative who's good at editing, or whose opinion you appreciate, and you have a classmate whose opinion matter to you, and who you think will provide you with a better opinion which will help improve your work. Have them read your work and listen to their comments, and listen to what they have to say about your writing with patience, and do not get defensive on criticism, as we've read that point in our previous class as well. So listen to it carefully, and even make notes, side notes, as what they have to say, and if they relate to your writing, if they relate to your storyline, plot line, and if they in any way help you, or if they in any way help what you help your writing or improve your writing, then make the changes. Otherwise, let it be. Read the draft aloud, or even better, recorded if you have decided to edit the draft yourself. And if you're reading it, most of the times, many readers who are vivid readers who like to read a lot, whether it be books or articles, they usually do all their reading in their mind, and they do not read out aloud. So if you're doing the editing process yourself, it's better if you read it out aloud. And when you're reading it out aloud, it will help you recognize the mistakes that often go unnoticed. Or even if you record it on a piece of device and then listen to it, then it will also help you recognize the mistakes and improve the mistakes, highlight the mistakes. You can make the notes or the comments on a piece of paper as you listen to the recording, or as you're reading out the draft out loud, so you do not forget from where you know what mistakes you recognized, and from where what you need to improve, and where you need to improve your writing. Learn from your own experience. It is really important. If you are writing every day, if you are a writer in your own sense, then and if you edit your revisions, if you are attempting past papers, if you are a student from 10th grade, O level student, A level student, 11th grade, or even a university college student, and if you are doing your own editing, then it is important on everyday basis. And it is important that you learn from your own experiences, and do not commit the same mistake twice in your own work. And using an editing checklist would help you Editing checklist is basically a checklist of simple questions or simple words that, if you're a beginner in the editing process, it will help you recognize mistakes easily, or it will help you form the basis of your editing and make the editing process easier for you. So, some basic things that you need to consider while reading your draft or editing your draft is: are your sentences clear? Do they make sense? Are they, grammatically correct? Are there any spelling mistakes? Uh, are your sentences effective? Do they leave any impact on the reader? Do they grabs grabs that's a funny word. Do they grab the reader's attention? Would the reader follow up on your writing? Would the reader like to read further in your writing? Or is your beginning proper? Is your beginning sentence proper? Is your middle sentence proper? Is your ending sentence, thesis sentence proper? And what sort of effect does it leave on your writer? Do my sentences contain errors? Errors, obviously, you need to make sure your sentences are free of errors such as spelling errors. You need to make sure that your sentences are complete rather than in small fragments, uh, without any proper grammatical uh, tools. I don't know, I'm not sure. Punctuation that is not being used in the sentences. You need to make sure that you're using your comma splices right. You need to make sure there are no verb errors. You need to make sure there are no pronoun errors. You need to make sure that there are no punctuation errors. So these are some of the errors that are commonly found whenever you have decided, or whenever you are revising a draft for yourself or for somebody else. These are some common errors that can be recognized. Thirdly, you need to track your error. You need to make sure once you have recognized your error, you've read out aloud your draft, you've recorded your draft, you've read your draft, and now you have recognized your error and you have tracked them down. What most people do is, have small post-it notes, and they used to write those errors on those post-it notes, and they paste it on the place of the paragraph where the error is being made or committed. What other people do is they usually highlight the error, and then they correct the error as they repeat the drafting process or the revising process. And if you're editing on a computer, you can usually use the comment function of the program to uh, highlight the error and edit it later. you know Whenever you're using a piece of technology to do your editing, it's the programs or the softwares, they usually provide you with a spelling check or a grammar style checker to find what needs editing, and most of the students and learners usually love to use that tool. It's important that sometimes it will help you at a lot of places, but most of the times you have to be aware by yourself in your own mind that if you're using that spell check or that grammar style checker, you need to make sure that it's not just automating the checking you, because if you're a avid texter, for instance, you might be aware of the concept of autocorrect, and most of the times what you mean to write and the piece of technology or the phone autocorrects a certain sentence, autocorrects a certain word, it does not you know deliver your intention, or it does not deliver the right correction. So it is important that you double check it. If possible, edit a double spaced paper copy. Having a double spaced paragraph is always neat to clean and read, and I usually love my writing at a double spaced paper because it's easier to read, it's easier to revise, it's cleaner, it has a cleaner outlook. So this is it for today's lesson. Hopefully you have learned a lot. If you have any questions, do let me know in the comment section or reach out to us in the inbox, and we will be more than happy to help you in this case, and answer any of your questions or queries. If you do have any question or queries, and hopefully you do, so you can become a better student in your own right. I hope and pray that you succeed in your upcoming exams or whatever sort of writing that you are doing related to this subject. And if you're studying this book by yourself, then best of luck to you as well. I will see you guys in the next video. Till then, take care. Allah Hafiz.